The first time I heard her voice, I thought it was a trick of the wind. Out on the rocky cliffs of Veylora Station, the wind howled across the jagged terrain, carrying strange echoes that played with your senses. But when she stepped from behind a boulder, her form tall and lithe, I realized it wasn't the wind. It was her. She was an alien woman, of a species the Human Council had only speculated about. Her skin shimmered like liquid chrome, reflecting the fading light of Veylora's twin suns. Her eyes were impossible, vertical slits filled with shifting colors, swirling like galaxies. And when she looked at me, I felt exposed, as if she could see through every thought I'd ever had. I raised my communicator to greet her, though I knew it was probably useless. Our languages weren't compatible, or so the humans had assumed. "Veylora Station," she said, her words floating in the air like liquid music. I froze. Her words weren't hostile, but they weren't welcoming either. They were curious. I think I understand," I said cautiously, fumbling with the translator device strapped to my wrist. "Or, at least, I think I can try." Her lips curved into the smallest smirk, just enough to show curiosity, and she tilted her head. Then she laughed. A sound like wind chimes, like stars colliding softly, like something completely alien and yet entirely alive. It startled me. Honestly, it embarrassed me. But I didn't retreat. I swallowed, took a deep breath, and tried again. "Veylora?" Her laugh bubbled again, melodic and airy, and this time I noticed it wasn't just laughter, it was recognition, joy, amusement. She was not just hearing me, she was understanding me. And then something happened. Behind me, I heard the sound of shifting metal and a soft gasp. My partner, Jaren, had been silent, observing from a few meters away. His eyes were wide, his jaw tight. She laughed, and it affected him in ways I couldn't immediately comprehend. His stance loosened, his tension visibly drained, and a strange warmth colored his expression. I frowned. "Jaren, what?" Before I could finish, she stepped closer, her gaze now fixed on me. "You speak it?" she asked in that strange, liquid language. "You know my words?" "Yes," I said, my voice trembling slightly. I learned from the old archives, from what I could find." She laughed again, and this time the sound vibrated through the ground, through the rocks, through us. And I realized her laughter wasn't just amusement. It was a wave, a ripple of energy that touched not only emotions but physical presence. It was alive. Jaren staggered back slightly, his breathing uneven. What did you just do?" he whispered. She tilted her head, regarding him with amusement, her eyes sparkling like twin galaxies. "He hears me now," she said simply. "Even when he does not understand fully, he feels it. The vibrations, the resonance, they do not lie." The beginning of connection. Over the next few days, our strange encounter evolved into something more deliberate. I communicated with her directly, often speaking her language as she laughed, sometimes with joy, sometimes with disbelief. Jaren, meanwhile, was deeply affected by her presence. Every time she spoke, his demeanor softened, his usual stoic professionalism replaced by an almost childlike wonder. We learned her name, or the closest approximation I could produce in human phonetics, was Veylora. She was a scout from a distant system, sent to Veylora to observe and report anomalies. But something went wrong during her mission. Her ship had sustained damage, and she'd been stranded on the planet longer than expected. Her species, I discovered, communicated through a combination of vocal resonance, subsonic pulses, and energy manipulation. It was not merely language, it was emotion made audible, experience made tangible. Speaking it required more than knowledge. It required intent, presence, and connection. And apparently, laughter was the highest form of praise. I practiced daily, whispering the words, letting them roll off my tongue, testing the vibrations. Every time she laughed, I felt it not only in my ears but deep in my chest, like a heartbeat syncing with hers. Jaren, observing silently, became a mirror to my learning. His responses were involuntary, raw, and honest. An unexpected effect. One evening, after hours of study and awkward miscommunication, I spoke a phrase perfectly. The Lyria Veshkala Miranshev, roughly translating to I honor your presence and I trust you. She laughed, a sound brighter and fuller than ever, and I felt it reverberate through the cliffside like a living thing. Jaren staggered, gripping his head slightly. Whoa, he whispered. That's... She stepped closer to me, her laughter subsiding into a soft smile. It is not simply sound, she said. It is recognition, resonance. You can feel it, yes? Yes, I said, almost breathless. I feel everything. And him? She asked, glancing at Jaren. I nodded. He feels it too. Even if he doesn't speak your language, he responds. Her eyes softened. This is rare. Very rare. Only those who approach with sincerity can resonate fully. You, human, have done so. And your companion, he has a heart open enough to receive it, whether he knows it or not. Jaren's face flushed red, and he muttered something inaudible under his breath. I suppressed a laugh. He was clearly struggling to reconcile his logical mind with the wave of emotion Lyria's presence had unleashed. A deeper bond. As the days passed, the connection between us grew. I could speak her language more fluidly, and she would respond with subtle shifts in tone, laughter, and gentle energy pulses. Jaren, despite himself, was drawn into the resonance. His mood lightened, his focus sharpened in ways that were almost uncanny, and he found himself instinctively understanding her emotions even when he didn't comprehend the words. We began exploring Veylora together, navigating the jagged terrain, ancient ruins, and luminescent forests that stretched across the planet. Lyria's laughter became our guide, a signal of approval, a warning, or sometimes sheer delight at a discovery. One night, near the edge of a glowing lake, I spoke a phrase that had taken me days to master. Miranthalyria vs. Kalorn. I am here, fully present with you. She froze, her luminous eyes widening. Then she laughed, not the light, playful laughter of before, but a soft, melodic exhale that carried profound emotion. Jaren looked at me, wide-eyed. Did she just? She did, I said quietly, and I think I just did the same to her. For the first time, it was more than practice. It was real. Connection forged not through words alone, but through resonance, intent, and emotion. The thread appears. But our joy was not meant to last. Strange signals appeared on our scanners, unmarked ships approaching from the edge of the atmosphere. Lyria's expression changed immediately. Her laughter vanished, replaced by a focused intensity. They've found me, she said. They do not approve of humans learning our resonance. They will see it as contamination, weakness, or threat. We must leave immediately. Jaren and I exchanged a look. Leave? Where? How? I asked. She gestured to a sleek ship partially concealed in the cliffs. Come. You will understand once we are aboard. But be warned, those who seek to stop us will not hesitate to destroy anything in their path. We followed her without hesitation, the resonance between us pulsing like a tether. Even Jaren, usually composed, moved with urgency, feeling the weight of the threat and the strange bond that had formed between us. Aboard the ship, the interior of Lauraya's ship was unlike anything I had ever seen. It was organic, alive in subtle ways, with walls that shimmered and shifted, responding to our movements and thoughts. The air pulsed with low-frequency vibrations, and I could feel the energy from her resonance all around us. "We must leave orbit now," she said. "They will intercept if we linger." As we took off, she instructed us on controlling the ship's systems. I followed her commands, repeating the words in her language. Each time I spoke, she laughed softly, and I could feel the vibrations strengthening our synchronization, not just with the ship, but with each other. Jaren, too, responded, his body and mind subtly adapting to the alien frequency. The attackers appeared moments later, sleek, black ships with piercing lights. Lauraya maneuvered expertly, weaving through asteroid fields and shifting energy corridors. I spoke the resonance phrases as instructed, lending strength to her maneuvers. Her laughter returned in bursts, defiant and joyous, and I realized something remarkable. It was contagious. Even in the heat of battle, even with danger all around, her joy, her resonance, was our shield. The aftermath. We emerged from the asteroid belt unscathed, the attackers deterred by the combined resonance of Lauraya, Jaren, and me. For the first time, we could breathe, laugh, and marvel at the stars around us. Lauraya turned to me, her luminous eyes full of emotion. You truly understand. Not only my words, but my essence. You and him." She glanced at Jaren, who was blushing and scratching the back of his neck. "Yes," I said simply. "We do. And we're not afraid anymore." Her laughter, soft and joyful, filled the cabin, and I felt it ripple through every fiber of my being. For the first time, I realized that resonance wasn't just language. It was a bridge, a weapon, a shield, and a bond. And now, we were inseparable. Epilogue. Across the stars. In the days that followed, we explored nearby systems together, learning and laughing. Lauraya's species may have underestimated humans, but we proved that connection, understanding, and laughter could bridge the cosmos. Even Jaren, once stoic and skeptical, had adapted. He spoke fragments of her language, laughed in resonance, and even smiled without realizing it. And I had learned a truth I would never forget. Speaking her language was not about words alone. It was about courage, intent, and heart. And the moment she laughed, everything changed. Across the stars, among dangers and wonders, we were no longer three beings from separate worlds. We were one, connected, resonant, and unstoppable.